Facebook. I am here on the couch with Miss Rita Fuller Yates. Woo, woo. We are ready to have a discussion about our friend. You see her all over the place. She is a teacher, a designer, an author, a TV personality. She's all over the map. And she's on the couch with us today. I'm so happy to have her.
I'm so happy to be here, especially with this miracle right here, sitting right next to me.
Miss Rita.
Yes.
Are you from Columbus, Ohio?
I am from the 614, born and raised.
My goodness, okay.
Yeah.
So, tell me about your experience in Columbus, Ohio, as a kid.
Okay. So I was born to parents that were married, but soon divorced when I was 3. And then, of course, I lived with my mother, but my mother enlisted in the military at the age of 34. Wow. So then I moved in with my grandmother. Mm. So my grandmother primarily raised me from 5th grade on. But my mother, of course, played a huge role because she instilled the importance of education, understanding the root of you can make a difference. And of course, back then, I didn't know that was what she was doing because she was really structured and sort of mean. My mom was. I mean, Gaga is, y'all know Gaga.
Yeah.
Gaga's pretty.
Yes.
But I've learned to appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Because she pulled out the better part of me and made me pretty disciplined.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmommy kids, I'm telling you, boy, you guys are something special. You all know how to cook.
We do. We do. If nothing else, my grandma was an obsessive cooker, in which meant that we wasn't really a part of the process because she was controlling the kitchen.
I see. I see.
So we had to visually check things out.
Okay. Got it. Very good.
Yeah, she was a typical big grandma.
Really?
Yeah. She was a great cook, a great family.
Now, is there any kind of recipes that are still to this day that are very special to you?
It is. I mean, her homemade rolls didn't make it to the next generation because that was something that she kept so private. We do a thing called rice and curry. We are not descendants of India, but my grandmother was married my grandmother's sister was married to a Indian.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he taught us a lot of Indian dishes.
Did you guys know that? That was interesting stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of my friends on Facebook are my cousins, and they have a little look, and you could tell that they're descendants of some Even
your brother a little bit.
Yeah, but we're not. That's what makes it a little different.
Yes.
Like that, they are descendants, but we're not. But we all sort of still look alike.
That's interesting.
That bloodline is deep.
It really is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So you went to East High School.
I did. 87 Tigers.
87 Tigers.
Now, I don't know if you know much about East High.
I don't know too much.
Okay. So once you go to East, it really becomes a pride thing.
Okay.
And you wear it. It becomes a part of your heart and your soul for the rest of your life. So when you're in the presence of another Tiger, the energy just inflates. Because we all know the power.
The only other people I know from East High School I know is Missy Bolden and her mom.
Same way.
Okay.
Same way. When we're like fumes. We start talking about the Tiger, and we were all cheerleaders.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You were a cheerleader.
I was.
That should not surprise me.
Missy B and her mama.
I didn't know Miss Debbie was a cheerleader.
She was.
Wow.
I'm not going to tell her year that she graduated, but yeah.
Listen, Miss Debbie still does splits.
Oh. Wow.
Yes, yes, she still does splits. I know that for a fact.
Oh no.
Yes. Now she may give me a little bit of help to get up, but she'll do them. She'll do them though. It's amazing. We love you, Miss Debbie. Come back from California safely.
She's a sweetie.
And you also went to Ohio University.
I did.
You had a degree in history.
I do. So that's why I always laugh when I say, unless you're important, to sit down and talk to people and ask them questions, because if you assumed my story, you would be so wrong.
I think,
and a lot of people assume my story, especially based on who I'm married to, and it's so easy, and I just let them do it now because it's really so wrong, and I know it's wrong, but it's a lot of work to try to prove to people who you are, and if they're not interested, why should I work hard to prove it's right?
Right.
Yeah.
But you're so interesting.
Well, I think
You really are. You're very interesting.
Thank you.
That's why I think so many people will follow you.
Why do you think that is? What do you think?
I think it's because you're warming to talk to. You're very infectious.
Oh, same as you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have similar characteristics. I think that makes people feel comfortable.
I think so. Well, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
You have just done so much. This woman has done so much. You know, she's also wrote a book. She's an author. She, let me backtrack a little bit. So she got a degree in history, which to me blew my little bit of hair left out when I found that out, because I don't think of a history major when I think of Miss Rita. I think of her as the big,
Like communication.
the communication.
Major,
she's
media.
all over the place. She's on Channel 10. She's on Fox. She's that personality.
I know. No, honestly. So my story, honestly, is growing up into me.
Okay.
Because when I was younger, I didn't think this was possible for people like me. I come from a very humble place where I didn't see people like me. I saw Black people on TV,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, but they didn't come from where I came from.
Got it.
And the brokenness that I came from, and the lack of resources.
Okay.
So for me, I put myself in a box because I based my future on what I saw.
I see.
So I majored in history because I thought I was going to be a teacher, because I did see lots of Black teachers. And so I was like, I want to be a professional. I want to be a leader. So I'll be a teacher.
Wow.
I thought that I could do that. And so, of course, working on my degree as a history major, that was something that I could gravitate to, and I was interested in stories.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really want to teach kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so after graduating from from college, I was really confused. Like, okay, what do I do? How do I try to figure this out? So I went into corporate America, and I stayed there for 10 years.
Wow.
And I ran a call center. So I've always been a strong leader,
Mm.
but I didn't realize I was creative until I got married.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why I think it's so important who you center yourself around,
Mm-hmm.
because people who knew me, they're not surprised, but they never told me,
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So I think that when I met Sean, he was like, do you know who you are? Do you know? And I'm like, no, who am I? He's like, well, you do this and you do this. He was like, I think you need to do this. Wow. So he started sewing into me.
That's awesome.
And that built my confidence.
That's good.
And then everything my grandma told me as a young person, I started believing.
That's good.
Then it just started working itself.
So how did interior design come about?
That's always just been a passion.
Okay.
So I was always the one to create just the simplest space,
Okay.
Having very limited resources and funds.
Really?
Even in college, I was the person that decorated the dorm, made sure everything was color coordinated. But my mom, honestly, we weren't, like I said, very fortunate,
Mm-hmm.
but I had matching pillowcases and drapes.
Got it.
Because she would have her girlfriend make them.
Wow.
Yeah, so back in the day, they didn't really make money at their tools. They would just help one another.
Right.
So somebody did pillowcases, somebody did, so it was just that type of thing.
That's true.
Yeah, and I just fell in love with it, and I didn't know until later. And then we built our home. Sean and I got married, and we both had homes. We sold homes, and we built our home. And I kept redoing the home.
Did you?
And Sean was like, all right, this is enough. And he was like, you got to do something with this.
Wow.
And that's how I went back to school.
That's cool.
That's why I went back to school.
Got your master's.
And got my master's, because it was just something I loved to do.
That's awesome. And so you went to actually running a pretty successful janitorial business.
That's actually where all of this started. So after I got divorced from my first husband, Aubrey's dad, I divorced him 1 week, and 3 weeks later I got laid off from my job.
That's interesting.
After buying the house from me.
Oh my gosh. Right.
And couldn't find a job.
Gotcha.
So now I've got my daughter,
Mhm.
divorced him, and I have the house now, and I'm just trying to figure this out. So that was when I started cleaning homes, just to offset my unemployment because I needed cash.
She got creative and found a way to bring in income. That's important.
I did, got creative. But then when I started cleaning homes, I started cleaning small businesses of the people who owned small businesses of the homes I cleaned.
Mhm.
And what happened was it was a big market for African American women in the janitorial company
Really?
because it was just made up of men.
You're right.
And you got a double government benefit to hiring a Black woman.
Really?
So the companies were killing. I mean, it was a great time to be in business.
I'm sure.
I was just showing up, and they was like, "She gets the bid." I'm like, "Yeah!"
Wow, that's interesting.
It was just a great time. It was a great time for that. We're still in business, but that was like the first 10 years. And then, of course, once you start something, then everybody starts doing it, and then it becomes competitive.
Absolutely. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I was one of the first Black African American women who owned a janitorial company.
Isn't that something? That's cool. And then you decided it was called AHC.
AHCINC. That stands for Aubrey's House of Clean.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I named it because I thought of Wendy's when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna have a business named after my kids.
Oh no, that's right.
Because of Wendy's.
Yes. No, that's right.
Because Wendy's was from Columbus.
Yes. You're right.
Yeah. So
yes.
I knew that story.
That's good. That's good. So then you turned your passion of interior design into a full-time business. Why decorate?
I did. So of course, me having the cleaning business by then, about 12 years, I was just trying to find something that I could do. Because Sean was pretty much, I married Sean 4 years after having the janitorial company. And coincidentally, how God works, he worked for his brother, who had a bigger janitorial company before we met. And when we met, he was working for him. Wow. So he taught me a lot about the bigger contracts, more industrial contracts, because he learned them from his brother.
All right, this is probably the best time to talk about Sean. I was going to talk about Sean anyway. Sean is an exceptional human being. First of all, he's talented and he's so supportive. And my hubby is a huge fan of Sean Yates. A huge fan.
Yeah, he all right.
He's so supportive of this one right here. He's great. He's just so talented, and he's an amazing human being.
He is. I he was an obedient card. I didn't really like him like that.
You didn't?
Oh, absolutely not. No. But every day I'm thankful.
Yeah. Because
again, we don't know what's good for us,
right.
or I would have already had them.
Right. I know.
But being obedient.
I understand.
Yeah. Being obedient.
Right, boy, being obedient. I'm telling you. Because
Mm-hmm.
there's always that other one. You're like, oh, I wonder what he's doing.
Absolutely. That's the one that broke us the first 3 times.
Right.
No, we're going for a 4.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going for a 4.
Right.
I gotta keep it consistent.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but no, he told me, I was at the end of my bed at my home, and he said, "That's your husband." I was like, "What?"
Right.
What?
Interesting.
Yeah, but I'm thankful. It's been 16 years now.
Wow, 16 years.
16. And I'm a different woman now because of him.
I can honestly say I'm a different woman now since I've been with Mr. Taylor. Yep.
Mm-hmm. When you match up with the right thing, he helps you. But I think, remember when they talk about whole? Like our philosophy is we had to find each other to become whole. We wasn't whole without each other.
That's a good statement.
Yeah, because you know how they say you should be like equally yoked.
Yeah.
And I think we were equally yoked, but still just so broken.
Correct. That makes sense, especially in our lives too. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you did why decorate for how long?
It's still existing.
Okay.
But it's shifted because again the role has shifted from a designing perspective to the heart of lifestyles.
Okay, very good. Very good.
So I love more. What I didn't realize when I was doing my own home, I was creating beautiful space, But I didn't realize that you were going to have these human experiences when you create other people's spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And people, you really have to be a great interior designer. You have to be a strong narcissist where you believe in what you believe and you do not care what anybody thinks.
Really?
To be great at it. It's art. It's their art. And they're passionate about that pillow. Can't change that pillow. Whereas I'd be like, I mean, if you want red, even though I know red's not the best option, I would give in to the customer.
Oh.
And it would be at the sacrifice of my own work.
I see.
Whereas most designers, no.
Huh.
No. It's like, just think about Nikki.
That is who I was thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not changing her stuff.
Right. And don't even think about it.
Don't even think about
Right.
it. And you take it the way I
Right.
created it.
Right.
But that is a creative artist.
Yes.
So that's why I'm glad God balanced me and he knew who I was. I was always just trying to figure me out.
Got it.
Yeah.
So then we were transitioning now to the lifestyle expert that you are, that we birthed.
And that I love.
That you love.
I just love. It just makes me so excited that he gave me that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were very good at it. We love you at it. We love you at it. We are us Columbus people. We love you here, but we know that it's not going to be here forever. We already see that. We already know. We already have it in existence that it's some other bigger platform is going to swoop you up at some point. Absolutely. It's already in existence.
Well, I'll own it. God is trying to teach me to own things because growing up a little broken, you believe what you saw.
Right.
But now I have to believe what he's telling me.
What he's telling you, yes.
Yes. And you just confirmed it.
Yes. Now, you actually taught at Columbus College of Art and Design?
Yes.
Wow.
Interior. I taught history of interior design.
History of interior design.
So everything I teach still roots back to my beginnings of history.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I love, you know what I've learned about myself? I love the root of how things start.
I see.
Because then I like to understand the timeline of how we got to where we are. And you can sort of see the synchrony if you pay attention.
I see.
Of how things just almost come right back if we just pay attention. Like right now we live in this big technical world. I know in 10 years we're going to go back to grandma's because it's going to be the millennials, children who they see suffered from it, and then they're going to try to fix it. And then that's when they're going to be like, I mean, we're already sort of farming.
Right.
And it's just my belief is we're going to go right back to the basics.
I agree.
And they're going to need an older, mature person to teach those basics.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I've been positioned for this time as now.
That's good. That's good stuff. Now you wrote a book?
I did.
Tell us the name of the book.
Life Camera Action.
Okay.
And it correlates, it's about hosting and entertainment at home. And it correlates a Broadway star to a hostess at home and how they have the same similar experiences. They both have anxiety before the event. They're expecting people to come at a certain time. They're expecting the audience to be excited at certain points of the event. So it's the same thing as being a Broadway actress.
That's cool.
When we open our homes up to people.
That's very true. You are a contributing writer at Ready Publication?
I am.
You are. You're currently.
Yes.
You also are a radio show host on the Urban Entrepreneur on Magic 95.5
Yes.
FM with C. Sonny Martin.
Yes. See Sonny. Uncle Sonny.
And the big thing is she has a fabulous Facebook Live show, Home Again with Rita Fuller Yates. That's where a lot of you people might have seen her. If you haven't seen her on the weekends for news correspondence for her lifestyle segments, which are amazing. And all of us we just waited with bated breath whenever she's on. We're like, there's our Rita. Woo!
Thank you.
Of course.
I appreciate the 614. That's why I would I don't think I want to leave. I don't want to ever leave 614.
No, you can't.
Because it's so comfortable.
No, you got to grow. Got to grow, butterfly.
That's what I hear.
She's been featured on Columbus Monthly Magazine, City Scene Magazine, Columbus Business First, ABC 610 TV, Joy 107.1, Fox 28. Now I want you to tell us about your podcast.
Okay. Well, so we're in the middle of transitioning podcasts.
Okay.
I actually just told Sean a couple of weeks ago, I didn't really so for me, whenever I start a venture, I'm so visual that I have to almost experience it.
Okay.
And then once I experience it, that's when I know what works versus what doesn't.
I see. That's smart.
One of the problems I have is giving so much information that it doesn't have a sense of entertainment.
Okay.
And podcast to me is that challenge where it's hard to come up, the entertainment is hard to come across.
I think so too.
So, and because you give information, you know, unless you're a comedian or something like that. So I was struggling with giving so much straight information that I told him that I'm going to switch in the next couple of weeks. One of the things that we're working on is we're getting ready to build our own app where everything will be compiled onto the app, the TV show, the podcast, the website,
that's big.
The shopping from the website. And then that way people can have that on their phone.
Yeah.
And they don't have to look through all of the links to get to you.
Right.
And then that one of the things that we are planning on doing with Home Again TV is bringing on people who have their own TV show, hence like you have, and we will sponsor and support that.
That's a good idea.
That.
That's awesome. That's a great idea.
Through that network.
That's smart.
It's a way for us to try to define it a little more so that it comes through.
You were very well
clean.
I love that you were you process everything very thoroughly.
Thank you.
You remind me of my grandmother. I have an Italian grandmother that with the pasta, everything is very.
Yeah. And where I'm not like that mechanically, Sean is. So where there is a hoe, and it is amazing how we work, not to be arrogant and speaking about it, but where there is a hoe, I can walk away and not say one word to him. And he literally will be like, you know what I was thinking? And I'll be like, this is, that's why
that's awesome.
It just works. It's just,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I get why he says this, you have to marry him.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Nobody else would have done that.
Right.
Plus he creates him as crazy as I am.
Yes. Sean he's just cool. He's just cool.
He's a good guy. Well, you got a good one too.
I do.
Yeah, with muscles.
Right. Now listen, when I was at the hospital, all those little nurses and so forth, listen. We got all these newbies on our following us now from the hospital, Mount Carmel East. Thank you, babe.
Well,
but he's still married, and my right side works now.
Well, the best thing about your husband, though, he's easy because you can flirt with him, knowing how much he loves you.
You can embarrass Miss Rita loves to embarrass the bejeebus out of my husband. His whole face turns red. It's hilarious.
Well, he's easy.
Yeah.
And I know he ain't gonna give no magic back, so he's real easy.
Right.
You know how sometimes you flirt with people.
Yeah, you're like, okay, hold on.
Oh God, I messed up.
Right. So true. You're like, okay, buddy, it was just joking.
I'm just trying to make you smile.
Right. So here's the thing. I always ask a family member a little funny story so that I can like kind of reveal. So your daughter told me to ask about why your knee.
Lord,
how you hurt your knee.
Which time?
She says, why don't you just ask her how she hurt her knee? I said, okay. That's just, I do it every single guest, so you're not.
So, this was about 5 years ago. We were at the house, and in our basement, we had columns.
Okay.
And they was just starting. They was just starting to talk about pole dancing.
Okay. Oh, I knew this was gonna be good. I knew it. Thank you so much.
I hate Aubrey. So I said, Aubrey, we need to go to the pole class so that we can really learn how to do the pole. She was like, Mom, I heard it was really hard. I was like, I don't think it could be that hard. So I grabbed the column And I was like, it can't be that hard.
Oh my goodness.
And I took my knee around it, and I was like trying to spin around.
Oh my gosh.
Next thing you know, I was on the ground. Next thing you know, I hurt my knee. My knee was out for a couple weeks. Needless to say, I never made it to the
say, I was a pun on words. Needless to say.
So that has always been a joke of mine with her, because she's always like, Mom, you never can go to the phone.
That is hilarious. I knew it. When she said it, I knew it.
Mode. I was just going slow.
When she said it, I knew there was going to be a good story behind it. I knew it. I said, that's okay. That's what I'm going to ask her.
It was. It was. That was funny.
Woo. So how do people follow you on social media?
On everything is Rita Fuller Yates.
Okay.
All my handles.
Okay.
Websites, Rita Fuller Yates, and all my media. So.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there any upcoming events that you would like to promote right now?
Oh, of course. So, we have the Couples Club, the Columbus Couples Club. We're having a photo shoot and a brunch on July 14th.
Very good. My husband and I are part of that. This is a great couples event for those that kind of want to fellowship with other couples that really don't know, where to hang out with. They want to meet new people in Columbus. It's a great group.
Mm-hmm. It's a great way to make entertainment for the couple simple.
Yes.
Without it being overdone.
Right.
We don't stay the night with each other. We don't spend too much time with each other where it can create a lot of chaos. I think that's always good. The people who do mesh very well, they do stuff outside.
I
of
see
the
that. I do
Couples
see that. Yeah,
Club.
I saw that.
So it always works.
Mm-hmm.
Where again, it's just simple entertainment for couples.
You're right. You're very much right. And then tell us about your expo.
Expo! Our second one. It's on August 25th from 10 to 4. This year's theme is Journey of Life.
Mm-hmm.
Every year it's a different theme. The whole idea of the expo is to give artists as well as small businesses an opportunity to gain exposure.
That's awesome.
But what's big about our expo is two things. Everything is to teach. I'm a teacher at heart, so nothing will be just to sell.
Okay.
Everybody who is a part of the expo is teaching you their expertise.
Oh, that's awesome.
In one way or another,
That's
which
awesome.
I thought was so important.
Yeah.
But secondly, we also have the history component.
Yes.
So that we can learn who we are and where we come from
Which
as
is
families. And as African Americans, I did my family tree. I've been working on mine for the past 5 years.
Really?
And on all sides, I'll grab this one. Sometimes I'll drop that one and pick this link up. But what I found out is there is now technology available for us. But the problem is a lot of African Americans don't register.
Yeah.
And then so we can't find who we're connected to because we don't do the work.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Register.
Get to know who you are. Get to know, because it automatically does it for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you sign up and take your DNA, we will know, me and you will know we're cousins.
Wow.
So it's like all these people I don't know, because of course the Caucasians have taken the test.
Yes, right.
And of course we all are related to them as well.
Right.
But I'm more interested in knowing us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's
I
cool.
think it's really important. And then Marlon Gary is our partner.
Mm-hmm.
He is teaching all about preparing for death, making sure you understand who the person is that is who is your relative, making sure you understand her favorite colors, just the simple things of life. Because when you go to bury him, he was explaining a lot of people just don't know.
Interesting.
Just because they don't ask these questions.
Right.
So he has a process where he teaches family members how to get to know one another, so that at that difficult time, you know
That's smart.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you really know
that
you really know. Like I knew that when not to get morbid, but I knew that when my mother passed away, I knew that when because they had an open casket, I knew that she did not want the morticians doing her makeup because she was vain. Now you know where this came from.
You told me that though,
Yeah,
that she was like Mary Kay or something. Did she sell?
She just liked to be pretty.
Okay, so she was just a makeup.
Yeah, so I actually went in to the funeral home and did her makeup, her final makeup.
That was that important to her.
That was that important to her. She said to me, "Please don't let me have my last look be something somebody else did. Because, you never know what they're going to do. They don't know her. They don't know her personality. They don't know how she wants her eyebrows, how she wants her blush. So that was hard, but it was something I wanted to honor because I loved her.
And you knew her story.
And I knew her story, yes.
So some people don't.
Yeah.
They don't know those little things that are important to their spouse. Like my mom, I know certain things because she's told me, and we've had those conversations. But a lot of people, especially African Americans, think it's taboo to have that conversation. But he's trying to teach us
that's good.
It's not an option. You gotta have that conversation.
Yeah.
But he does it like through a game.
Really?
With cards.
Oh.
Yeah. So again, that's going to be there. I've got Tony Brittman there with Brit Smart Security. He's one of our sponsors. He's going to be teaching parents how to have kid safety, how to protect our children with some tools that he's going to provide to the parents because we live in a different world.
We do live in a different world.
Yeah, and then of course we got chefs there. We've got fashion. We've got hair. We've got makeup. We've got Ask Laura. Laura is my girlfriend she's a minister, and she's doing more life questions because she's trying to take us away from it's biblical principles understood by life. And she takes a little twist where she uses the Bible to make sure that they understand more about life.
Got it.
And using it more in a practical sense.
Now, is this awesome woman? I know that there was a woman that had a church that's like downtown.
Yes. No, that's not her. That is Amy. She has Short North Church.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is cool because again, they're trying to embrace the community of all the people, regardless of what your sexuality is. That's what's big there is embracing all sexes, regardless of who you love.
Loving everybody.
We
got to remember we have to love everybody.
You have to love everybody.
You may not understand everybody, but you still shouldn't. You need to love everybody. Yeah.
And not judging them.
Right.
Or saying they're going to hell.
Correct.
And all that stuff.
Just be the loving business. I'm in the loving people business.
That's where churches have to get to that place.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it lost some ground.
Yes.
Don't you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, I do that. My husband and I fully see that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are like, we try to, our role is to, we do help people come into society, re-enter in society, but we also let them know that it was by the grace of God is the reason why we're able to be successful that we are. And I know a lot of people fall from the church because a lot of people in the church are judgmental. They're really judgy.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to really avoid that.
It makes sense though why they're judged though.
Yes.
I mean, from the time they enter into the church, they're told what they can't do. So then when they see you do it, all they know is you can't do that. So it makes sense how they develop that.
Yeah.
So it's just the church philosophy, I think.
A lot of the old biblical
Yeah. I'm seeing breaking down. That's what I like.
Yes, it is breaking down.
Yeah, I like it. People are becoming a lot more realistic about God.
Yes.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yes. All right. So I am glad that you are getting an app because you have more social media handles than that. When you go on her page and you look at she has like 36. So I'm glad we're meshing it all together into an app.
That's Sean Yates. You know that's Sean. He's the electronic guru.
I love it though.
So he does all of that stuff that, I wouldn't normally know how to do. So
But I love it.
I love it too.
Well, I am so glad you came on our couch today.
I'm glad that I got to talk
And
about myself.
It was painless, right?
It was.
It's nice to talk about you.
Yeah, it is. Because so many times you're just not used to it.
Sure.
I did good.
You did do
More
good.
than one-liners.
Yes, you did.
I told her I was going to give her one-liners because that's what I'm used to doing to fill in.
Right.
Before I ask.
And here's the funny thing about this history major. I knew even before we turned on the live, she had to know everything what was going on with me. Okay, tell me the timeline. Tell me the beginning. What's going on? I want to know what's happening. What's next? She was doing all this before we even turned on the Facebook Live.
Yeah, we got to get to know you so that we can produce, right?
Right.
I'm not being genuine if I don't get to know what's going on with you.
Yes, I'm doing well, people. I'm doing really well.
She's doing very well. Yeah, she can write a book on this one. For real. Have you been taking images of your wall?
I've been trying to write. My handwriting looks like a preschooler right now.
That's good though, because that's cool for the book. how you'll see the progression. So you wrote down the week and the month of when that was, the date?
Mm.
Yeah. I think the other testimony was good, but I think he gave you a new one.
Baby,
Yeah.
he sure did. He gave me something.
Yeah. So you're journaling every
I,
day?
I am journaling every day. It's part of my, because I have to do cognitive skills anyways daily. So that is part of my journaling. Like I said, I write down, and I'm apologizing all the time. Like, oh gosh, if anybody else sees this, please understand that my handwriting is just, I'm working on it. It's a process, but it's chicken scratch.
Well, just based on what, 2 weeks ago?
Yes,
You couldn't even
correct. You're right.
lift your hand?
Yes, ma'am. You're right.
Wow.
You're right.
I mean, again, I had to come and see her for myself because I didn't know how real, how social media
Yes.
is. We just don't explain everything.
Right.
But I'm amazed that you're so together. I didn't think that we should have had this
I
conversation.
know you did.
today.
You tried to bow out.
I was concerned.
She's like, wait a minute.
Not because I didn't want to do it.
No, I know. It
but
was
I
very.
felt like, really? We about to do
No,
that?
I was doing it. I was doing it. I wanted some normalcy back in the Harris household, and this was happening.
Okay. Well, God used
Yes,
us,
yes,
obviously. And you're doing well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, I don't know if you're just pushing through.
No, I'm doing okay. I have more energy than Mr. Tui right now. Mr.
Wow.
Tui is exhausted. We put a lot on.
Yeah, and then she's got a stitches in her hand that you wouldn't even think was a stitch. And then are they going to have to go back and say
They're going to go into the same spot, which praise God, because I don't want a new one. I'm like, listen, I'm still vain.
Mhm.
Just go into what you have, and we'll just re-stitch it up.
Will your hair go back?
He said my hair will grow back, absolutely.
Well, you wanted a pixie cut anyway.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty good. I don't mind the short hair has been okay.
Yeah, you can rock that on out.
Yeah. Chandrita just got us all onto the bald movement anyways.
Well, why not?
Right?
Yeah, you was just jealous.
I was jealous.
We said that. She was just jealous, Chandrita.
That's right.
You saw them pictures.
I did. Oh my gosh.
She killed it.
Oh my gosh, those pictures came out phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to the fashion show.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
They're going to kill it.
Yes, I believe so.
That's its own little confidence, isn't it? Isn't it? When you see them?
Yes.
And when they told their story, I was
I
amazed.
believe that.
Because you don't know why they're that way.
Mm.
Most of them is because of a situation.
Wow.
And then they had to learn to own that.
Interesting.
And then what was more powerful is learning to own the attention. Because now it's, wow, look at you. And they went from this to, wow, look at you going through this transition.
And every single one of them are pretty powerful people anyways.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. I think it births something inside.
That's awesome.
Because they're owning something
Yes.
else.
Yes. A lot of those women are.
They are.
Yes.
They are. And boisterous
Yes.
and on fire.
Yes.
So I see what the movement's going to do for
I do too.
Black women. I
do
love
too.
it.
I
I
do
mean, probably white women too.
Yes. Yes. Women in general.
Yeah, we probably need to tap into
I think so, yeah.
the bald white woman.
You're right.
We didn't even think about that.
You're right.
Chandrita?
Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys listening to me today.
I got it.